Give me reasons to doubt, try to keep me down, but I'll put the flame out, you can't get to me. Throw your sticks and your stones.
We are back with another Project Pan update. This one is another personal one that I created last month called the Panning Diaries. This is the Panning Diaries Update 1.
Shoot me down the fire away, but I'm a heavyweight.
I created this project last month as kind of a fun, lighthearted type of project to help me cope and to help others potentially deal with any types of obstacles that you may be struggling with. And as a way to further raise awareness for addiction as a whole and kind of combine project panning with my recovery, which are the two things I am most passionate about in life. So I wanted to create a fun project based upon the two. And if you want to see how well I have done this past month on this project, then just make sure to keep on watching. But before we get into the video, make sure you guys subscribe. I put out new videos 2 to 3 times a week, so you don't want to miss out on all the fun. Also, check the down bar for all my other links to all my other social media platforms. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop on into the video.
But I'm here to stay, no you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down the fire away.
Last month I created this project. I'm not going to get into too many details on this project and why I started this type of a project, but I will, however, have the introduction listed in the cards for you guys. I highly encourage you to go check out the introduction. I explain why I created this type of a project and the meaning behind it to me. So you definitely want to go check that out so you kind of have more of an understanding on what these items are based upon and why they are based upon certain types of obstacles or struggles. I went ahead and I picked 3 items and I paired them with 3 different challenges that I have struggled with throughout my life. Updates on this will be rather short because there is only 3 products. I did, however, add in 2 more products for addiction, and you will see why I did that in this update. Let's just go ahead and get into it, and I will go ahead and start with addiction. Most of you know, or if you don't know, I am an addict in recovery. I had 3.5 years of sobriety, and in 2018 I had lost my brother, and it triggered a relapse in me, and I had since got back on the bandwagon, and I now have a 1.5 years clean. It was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to endure. Losing a sibling is unlike any other type of loss. My first and foremost obstacle that I will always struggle with through and through, I will always be an addict for the rest of my life. It just doesn't go away. I wanted to try to pair something that I am most addicted to in my makeup collection, which is by far eyeshadow palettes. But since I'm doing so many different other project pans based upon and based around palettes as a whole, I just decided to go ahead and pick a single eyeshadow, and I went with the Makeup Geek Black Light Single Shadow. It's really pretty, as you can see from the swatch of it that I'll insert. It is real pretty, but it did kind of underwhelm me a little bit this past month. So what I had decided to do was, over on my Instagram, I was in my stories and I asked you guys and kind of had you guys pick another eyeshadow single for me. The eyeshadow single that my followers ended up picking was this really beautiful duochrome shift from Looksy Beauty, and it is called Bubblegum. And then I went ahead and picked yet another single shadow. I picked the Looksy Beauty beautiful multi-chrome single shadow in Snow Cone. Good God, was that a tongue twister. It is extremely beautiful. So we have officially 3 single shadows for addiction that I'm going to be trying to pan. And now these products are going to be panned to completion. There's no like set type of goal on it. We are to complete these items to completion, keeping track track of your use with tally. So every time that I use any of these products in this project, I mark it down with the tally. I will share how many times I've used these so far. I guess I could have at least said the project is a year-long project. It's non-rolling. The dates on it are August 1st of 2020 until 7/31 of 2021. So I can at least tell you guys that much in this update. We officially have 3 single shadows for addiction because I couldn't make up my mind. I should have put indecisive as one of my struggles because I can never make up my mind. I was just very underwhelmed by the Makeup Geek one. It's pretty. It's just almost kind of like you can see my skin peeking through it. And if I have any pictures of any looks that I did use this, which I did use this with my Pan That palette in conjunction, and it paired beautifully with it, but it faded off of my lid rather fast. Only within a couple of hours did this start fading off my lid. I put it on the inner portion of my eye. It just faded, and usually I don't have that type of a problem. I had my followers pick the shade Bubblegum, and then I went ahead and picked another one, which is Snow Cone, which, hey, we have 3, but that's okay. I'm okay with trying to potentially finish all 3 of these. I'm still going to keep working on the Blacklight one from Makeup Geek. So now I officially have 3 single shadows for addiction, plus the 2 other challenges I'm working on gives me a total of 5 products for this project now instead of 3. If I didn't already insert video swatches of these 2 beautiful eyeshadows, I will be sure to insert those so you can see just how sparkly and multi-dimensional these are. They are definitely like duochromes. They shift from different colors, and especially this Snow Cone shade. It is so gorgeous. For the shade Blacklight, I have used this so far for the month of August 4 times. So I only managed to get 4 uses on it, but hey, that's okay. 4 uses is 4 more uses than it had to begin with. So even little progress is still progress. The only one that has any type of weight on it is the Blacklight shade, since the other 2 are new, but I did, however, document their current weights. The weight on the Blacklight shade was 4.2 grams last month, and it is now at 4.1 grams. So hey, it went down 1 gram. I used it 4 times. I mean, it's better than nothing, which is why, you know, again, why I enjoy project painting so much is because it helps me to use things that I wouldn't normally use without them being in projects. And then the starting weight for the other 2 single shadows is, this one is 3.1 grams and this one is 3.2 grams. I have used these. The shade Bubblegum I've used 3 times so far, and the shade Snow Cone I've used 2 times so far. So those are their starting weights. We'll keep them in the project. I have 3 little singles for my addiction. We're going to keep working on them and see if I can't potentially finish those 3 singles within this year's period of time. The next challenge or obstacle that I have suffered with throughout my adult life is anxiety. The older I get, the more I'm learning to better manage my anxiety, but I have definitely suffered with anxiety most of my adult life, especially in my 20s. I was on medication for it, would get bad anxiety attacks to where it would make it hard for me to breathe and everything, and just trying to deal with anxiety is very, very challenging within itself. I'm just grateful that, you know, I've learned to kind of better manage it and everything, especially since being clean and getting in recovery. It really has just kind of subsided a lot of that anxiety that I used to once have. For anxiety, I decided to go with a bullet lipstick, which is the NYX Suede Matte lipstick in the shade Dainty Days. And I put this with anxiety just because, figuratively speaking, trying to finish an entire bullet lipstick gives me anxiety. Like, not actually gives me anxiety. I'm not like overwhelmed by it, but figuratively speaking, I wanted to, you know, put this in for anxiety, because if I do potentially finish this, it will be quite an accomplishment to help me to realize that, hey, you know, it's possible to finish your products too. And to have a set amount of number, knowing that I use this, let's say 800 something times and I finished it, will be just very rewarding, I feel. So that's really why I wanted to kind of do the diary part and keep track of our use and tallies on this project. For the month of August, I used this 8 times so far. I could have done better. Not too bad. It's kind of a really light shade, shade. Now I don't want to pull in a different lipstick because I already pulled in 2 different single shadows for Addiction, and I don't want to be switching things out and stuff, so I picked this, and this is what it's going to be. This is more of my summer shade. Thankfully it is summer. I just applied it, and as you can see, it is really, really beautiful nude lip shade, and now that makes 9 uses. The weight on this at the starting point last month was 20 grams exactly, and it is still at 20 grams exactly, which I knew the weight wouldn't fluctuate or change because I've only used it 9 times just now. So I am also keeping track of it by a marking. You guys know me, I will always try to keep track of my projects in progress any which way that I can, if not always combined in one project. Just the way I am. I'm so thorough and so like detailed about organization and stuff. So here is the marking point of this, is where it started at the beginning of the project last month. As you can see, I just have the tip of it used, nothing to even like mark yet, so I'm not going to even mark that yet. I'll just put 9-1 right here next to that 8-1, which was the start of the project. We'll just keep working on it until I get it down a little further. But it is a really comfortable lip shade, and I really do enjoy it. To me, I feel it's light, but actually now that I'm applying it over top of another lipstick, it looks quite nice. We'll see how this goes. The last disorder that I decided to go ahead and pick is trauma disorder. I have definitely suffered from trauma. I have seen and had to kind of go through a lot of things in my life growing up, especially as a child. I've seen things that no child should ever have to see or witness or go through. I definitely have a lot of trauma within me. The item that I did pair with my trauma does not mean that every time that I use the concealer that I paired with it, that it's going to cause or trigger any type of painful flashback of any type of trauma. I'm able to just simply recognize this for what it is, which is a concealer. Just basically pair it in honor of my trauma. If by chance you thinking that pairing any type of makeup product with any of your types of struggles would cause a triggering type of an event, then I definitely just recommend to maybe watch along the project, because I definitely don't want to feel like I am triggering anybody in a negative way by any means. So I decided to go with the Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer Pen for trauma, because we tend to cover up trauma a lot of times. So I figured a concealer, we use this to cover up our dark circles. Trauma, you want to cover up the darkness. Perfect. For the month of August, I have used my Jouer Essential Concealer Pen 9 times, which isn't too bad actually, considering that now that I have reached for this and used it the 9 times, it's not my favorite concealer, just for the simple fact that it's not as high coverage as I would hoped it would be. I will insert a little video swatch of this as well again, so that you guys can see. I mean, it blends out beautifully, but you really got to build this up to get it to really kind of cover darkness and stuff on your under eyes. Unfortunately, it's not as full coverage as I would hoped it would be. I'm not going to just pull this out and pull on a different concealer, because I've already been working on it with the Addiction and the 2 more shadows I added in. I don't want to change the project up and change it and pull too many things in and out of this project, because we are trying to potentially finish these items. At the start of this project, it was at 18.2 grams, and it is now at 18.1 grams. So hey, I mean, at least I used 0.1 gram of it. It's still progress. Those were my 5 products now for the Panning Diaries. I just wanted to basically say thank you again for giving me this platform and letting me use my voice as a way to further help spread awareness for addiction as a whole. Addiction has really impacted my life in a negative way, and I'm able to manage to turn things around today and be here to live to see another day, and to have a platform and use my voice and talk to you guys. The fact fact that we have an epidemic on our hands with addiction on top of a pandemic really makes it for a very challenging time for all of us, but especially those in addiction. I just wanted to say that if you are struggling and you need help or you are wanting to look for some type of help, I will have resources in the description of this video on ways to help you to potentially save your life. You can pick up that phone that weighs like it's 1,000 pounds to make that one phone call that could potentially save your life. I know I did it. It was the hardest phone call I ever made, but I'm also so grateful that I did do that and make that decision, because now I'm here to potentially help somebody else. And if you want to DM me personally, you can feel free to leave a comment down below and I will send you over my Instagram handle, or you can just feel free to DM me personally on Instagram at passionate_panner. I'm always available day or night. It doesn't matter what time of night or day it is. If you are reaching out and you're struggling and you need to talk to somebody, I will always be here. And if you are interested in joining in on this project, I will have the sign up sheet down below in the description box, as I always do with all of my projects. And I just wanted to say thank you again, you guys. August was a really challenging month, but we made it through the month. I've had lost my brother on August 14th of 2018, which triggered my relapse. And then my father's birthday is August 21st. I had a very up and down month this month, and I just wanted to say I'm sorry for not being able to put up content as regularly as I once used to, especially this past month. I'm just so glad that we made it through this month. You know, August is now over and I'm still here. I didn't go out and take a chance, or I didn't go out and do anything stupid again. It's all thanks to you guys, and it's all thanks to these platforms and the love and support of everybody that I have around me. I just wanted to say thank you so much for helping me get through the month of August, you guys. It really means so much to me. Here's for another month to come back stronger and better, to just have a awesome rest of your day. Thank you so much for stopping by, and please, of course, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and comment down below. Until my next video, everybody enjoy the rest of their day. Bye.